performance poetry in second year, and I think some of the feedback I got was from my tutor going, "Oh, you have a really good act where you're all misanthropic and inept," and I was like, "Yes, they think it's an act." So anyway, my first one is just like one of these short ones. You know when they say, "Oh, you've always got to go outside your comfort zone and do something different." So this one's like one of those old Victorian love story type things, and it goes like, "Make love to me," she said, melting in his arms. "I can't," he replied, "you're a snowman." This one of the comedic ones I wrote in second year, and it was, you see those all online generators where they make little random words and stuff. It started off on one of those, and it came up with the word trifle, so I thought, oh, I can do that. So this is one about trifle. Before I do this, assume I've got a near sexual obsession with trifle. It just makes a whole less weird. I don't. But I have these days where all I want to do is contemplate trifle. It's custard-filled whipped cream and fruity sponge layered to perfection. But then it all turns to pavlova in my mind, and the chopped and soaked strawberries piece back together, and the sugar and cream solidifies into an unforgiving white carapace. Suffice to say, this really sucks, because pavlova is a terrible dessert. And anyone who says otherwise, they are wrong and should be punched. Because face it, you live in England. Where would you get in-season strawberries in England? That line falls slightly flat because it's been fucking hot lately. I often describe trifle as splendid and unparalleled in conversations with my close friends and immediate family. And I describe how the trifle may give way to the serving spoon and the structure tumbles and folds in on itself, and yet the flavours can be enjoyed in any order, like if you made a really good playlist for a party or something. Because the sponge is like the dessert version of a cartilage skeleton, really strong but really flexible, like a shark, except it's a trifle. You may have noticed that for all intents and purposes I really like trifle. I mean, I would often wear it as formal dinnerware, with perhaps a dessert bowl as a hat worn at a jaunty angle. Have you ever tried to wear a pavlova? It crumbles too easily, and all you're left is eaten mess spilling out your pockets. And if you're after eaten mess, I would just go visit Westminster. There's an election going on. It's funny. And ask, why am I coated in sponge and whipped cream? And the answer is very simple. It's a sherry trifle. And instead of strawberries, tin peaches protrude from the alcohol-drenched sponge, covering my face and upper body. And I'm still thinking it's a damn sight better than pavlova. And I do my best to explain this to my immediate family, and they reply, "It was really good of you to come to the funeral." You know, you have running gags going on with your friends and stuff, and then they just get out of hand to the point where they're not even funny. This one started off with the, this started off, one of our friends went, "Slapper, I married her," and it just went... What did it say?
No, I was just saying there's a demo.
That's what happened.
Flashbacks.
I'll just start with it now. It's called Running Gagged. It started out as a joke. That's all it was, really. Like when instead of saying ax instead of ask, or ironically saying yes, it was a joke. So whenever someone would say something that included a word ending with the ER sound, one of us would pounce upon this moment of phonetical weakness for the sake of a quick laugh. First it was I married her. Simple enough, we had a laugh and we let it grow, and that was my first mistake because I let the joke get away from me and I let it escape and we all paid for it. Before I knew it, we were following up the ER ending words with variations and vice versa. User, I hardly knew her. Sepia, I filtered her. Creeper, I barely objectified her. King Prawn, I marinated her. It was still a joke though, just a little bit of wordplay. We had fun with it, we were in control, it was just wordplay. When did wordplay ever go south? It was kind of my fault, I really should have seen it coming, but I was too caught up in the moment. The easy comedy, the effortless laughs you could extract from anyone with a simple play on phonetic conventions. I used it for my own ends to feed my ego. I'm not proud, I was young, I was about this age, and I needed the laugh. Eventually it took over the whole sentences that had once formed its fertile breeding ground. Soon it was sleeper, I barely used her as part of my railway. Exeter, I entered her in a car with my dad. Instigator, she married me. By the time I realised the true extent of the damage it had done to myself, to all of us, it didn't matter anymore. It was loose, it could think, it could adapt, it could be anywhere. It could spring up in an instant conversation like an alien through John Hurt's chest. Or that giant alien covenant, it's not as good. It's beautiful in its own way. The perfect organism, its structural perfection matched only by its hostility. You admire its purity because it's a survivor, unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality. Because I dreamed of creating the world's most powerful in-joke meme crossover, and I succeeded. Look upon my works, you mighty and despair. Monster, I created a... That's kind of how it ends, yeah. Because I was going to do a really boring and serious one because of all the stress and stuff, but I couldn't do that because it'd be really weird because people would go, why halfway through is this guy doing performance poetry now having a breakdown on stage? I decided to convert it into the most powerful art form known to man, emojis. So this is the emoji poem. I decided to sort of parody myself because that would be fun. So this is me being a middle-class straight white dude attempting to be serious. No, it's me taking the piss out of that. But, anyway, it's not called the name actually, it's just called It's Deep. It came for me one night, the deep poetic voice, like a Ray Bradbury story booming in my ear. The deep poetic voice found me, the familiar sounds and inflections, the swinging rhythm hanging on alternating syllables, references to innocuous things like making a cheesy song serious by ironically linking it to trauma, because trauma is deep. Tragedy, when the feeling's gone and you can't go on. Tragedy is also deep. This hole I'm digging is deep. Being a middle-class white dude, I'm super oppressed and therefore deep. I bought depression off Amazon and I had to endure 3 to 5 working days because I didn't have Prime, because I'm totally not privileged. I'm emotionally deep enough to drown a child in, but murdering kids is wrong. As a pigeon, therefore deep angle. That's the key. Anything can be serious and you can make it all deep. I tried a new sub, the chicken pizziola. It was nice, but I'll stick to meatballs in the future. Thank you. I made it too big now, sorry. I slowed down for the deep bits, weighed down with emotional baggage, because depressing stuff is deep, man. I'm a proper deep poet, me. Schrodinger's poet, unbelievably damaged and fragile, but can do no wrong. My parents said I was special. I wish I was special, but I'm too deep. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I'm too deep. Online because I'm in university, I guess. And you know when you get that feeling where someone does something really stupid on Facebook and you just want to put this giant essay on. I decided to turn that into a poem because I thought it would be funny. So here I go. Are you serious? Oh, you're serious. No, you're not serious. You're a dick. By the looks of it, you're addicted to being a dick. If I had to think about who was a dick at this current moment in time, you'd be my #1 pick. Random person online, you're so much of a dick that when you send dick pics, they're full headshots of yourself as you're at least 10% dick. Take that, anonymous consumer of the same online news site as me. You're the feeling that when I was doing a jigsaw and I couldn't start it because you took all the corner pieces away. And you probably used the word interesting to describe things that you actually have no real interest in. If you were actually a recording artist, you could probably have to use session musicians, not to get a diverse array of musical talents in your work, but because you couldn't get enough people to be around you for long enough because of your personality, which, as mentioned earlier, is probably dickish if this short paragraph of my newsfeed is anything to go by. You probably use the obscure LCD Sound System's 2007 EP 4533 as a soundtrack for Running, for even though the band claimed that it was all a marketing push, and is therefore an inappropriate soundtrack to your bi-weekly exercise regime, you shameless corporate chill, because I read no logo once and now I realise that all advertising is actually evil, regardless of its supposed artistic intent. Feel more bad for these suddenly relevant pieces of trivia. You're so vain that you probably think this paragraph is about you. Well, it actually is, because I mentioned your name at the top, you conceited fool. My family was killed by that level of poor grammar. They were also killed by bad sampling in pop songs, last month's corporate memes, and the final boss of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Time you had no rings and you die in one hit. Have you ever played it, or would you slam it regardless, or do you have a TurboGrafx 16 and hate it? Because superior processing power doesn't mean anything unless you have a decent games library. It takes full advantage of the software and multiple third-party developers to maintain market relevance. Tremble in fear of my vast knowledge of things are important because I brought them up in a near anonymous internet argument. I have you on your virtual knees once you hit the button. On your Facebook feed. Also, some of my best friends are online. Not that someone with an anime screenshot for a profile picture would know, unless your attitudes are as exaggerated as the main protagonist's searing neon hair that's presumably held up with an iron bar embedded in their skull, which would explain your remarkably poor use of grammar. If God built you in his image, then God is a cackling spider with racism for legs and bad grammar for eyeballs, and instead of producing web, he produces an obnoxiously long row of maybe ironic kisses, emojis, and punctuation marks trailing from an abdomen, voted from years of proto-post, pseudo-socialist, neoliberalist, capitalist, leftist, rightist, centrist, fascist stuff that's probably bad. It's probably something corporate like Richard, you're a self-described cool or nice guy who also labels himself at random. Oh look, a picture of a cat and a dog and one of them's dead. Hashtag first world problems. Well, I got news for you, possibly Richard. Despite the length of the preceding paragraph I have procured, nobody cares! Press enter. Yes, 5 likes in 20 minutes. It's made a difference. Last one is one of my oldest ones. It's when you do a list poem, you go, oh, that's great, because you can change it easily, especially if they're not very good. So this one's called Don't. And I'll just go into it straight away. Don't open with a weak and or unrelated line. Don't cut and paste quotes without citing a source. I didn't cite source. Don't overuse metaphors and similes because, oh, they suck. Don't misuse the words literally. Oh, what? You literally shat yourself. Why would you ever be telling me this? Who are you? We've just met in a lift. Don't believe this line because it's a lie. Or is it? Oh my god, it's a paradox. Don't play Cards Against Humanity with your parents. It'll go to some dark places very quickly. Don't play regular Monopoly when Star Wars Monopoly exists. Wait, no, stop, come back. It's based on the original trilogy. What are you doing? Don't create a... This is really odd. This is when Doge was actually a thing. Don't create a Doge meme without full knowledge of its grammatical structure. By 2013-14 standards, there are actual grammatical rules to Doge speak. There should be single-word expressions of pleasant surprise, such as wow, gosh, two-word expressions must be made of words that don't go together in conventional grammar. Examples of Doge speak being many happiness or very smile. If the two words do go together under normal grammar, such as such happiness or many smiles, these can't be accepted as true Doge speak. But don't make lengthy digressions in the middle of your poems. Don't set Firefox as your default browser. Don't post your clickbait articles in gallery format. I don't have time to click 20 times and all your pop-ups fucking die. Don't use a highlighter pen over pencil writing. Don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat yourself. Shit. Don't force your work to rhyme as it will sound forced most stuff that. Don't have goose for Christmas dinner, as it pretty much tastes like beef and is really kind of fatty. And the fun you can have with disguising the fat in mayonnaise jars won't outweigh the fact that it's just not very good. Don't buy coffee from Starbucks because they don't pay tax unless you're a student, in which case I guess it's irony, but I don't know how irony works. Don't go to a poetry reading if you're severely hungover, you risk losing your balance. Don't go to a poetry reading if you're severely hung, you'll risk losing your balance. Don't repeat yourself. Shit. Don't wear sunscreen. You live in England. Accept it. I take no responsibility. And don't go out of your way to end on a high note. Thank you.